Well, it's everyone's favorite time of the year, prospect previews. I do this every single year, and I've done it for a year. But yeah, this is the second year of me doing this, and what better way to start off than the projected first overall pick, Owen Power. Now, first off, if you're new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, it would actually mean a lot if you did that because I'm getting a lot of traction lately on all my social medias, not just YouTube, many of my other social medias. So I really appreciate it if you would stop by and like the video, comment, do whatever you want to do, and subscribe. So yeah, let's get into the preview of Owen Power, a defenseman who could look really good in a couple years for Buffalo. So, or maybe we'll see if he goes. So he was born November 22nd, 2002. He is a defenseman, which is something that the Buffalo Sabres, as the first overall pick, they absolutely need a defenseman like him. He is 6'5", a pretty good height for a big power defenseman. And for being good at puck handling as well, like he is, we'll get into that later. But that's pretty useful. So he can definitely lay the body. He's 214 pounds, so that's fitting. Only like 100 less than me, so or 100 more than. I'm not fat. 100 more than me, not 100 less. I'm not 314 pounds, definitely not. He's ranked number one by pretty much everything. He is ranked number one by consolidated ranking. He's ranked number 4 by EliteProspects.com, which is where I got this stuff from. Ranked number 6 by FC Hockey. Ranked number 1 by Neutral Zone. Ranked number 2 by McKean's Hockey. Ranked number 1 by Sportsnet. Ranked number 1 by NHL Central Scouting. Ranked 4th by Recruit Scouting. Ranked 9th by Dobber Reports. Ranked 1st by Draft Prospects Hockey. Ranked 6th by SMAT Scouting. And ranked number 1 by Puck Authority. And he's also ranked number 1 by the Draft Overlord, Bob McKenzie. So, that's pretty good to look at this guy and look at this kid and see that he's ranked number 1 by every single thing. Now, he is probably going to be first overall. I have him first overall in my mock draft. I'm sure a lot of other people have him first overall in their mock drafts as well. So, yeah, I think to be honest with you, he's looking pretty good, and no matter what team picks him up, I think they're gonna have that choice pretty good. But it is definitely gonna be Buffalo, most likely, that goes up and drafts him. Although there are some good people below Owen Power that maybe they could go and take a chance at. So in 2018-2019 with the Chicago Steel, I figured I'd go back to then 3 years ago. 58 games played, he scored 11 goals, 14 assists for 25 points. Now, look, that doesn't look good in like a league like that, but for a defenseman in an A-plus league scoring 25 points in 58 games played, especially 11 goals, that is great. In 2019-2020 with the Chicago Steel as well. This was shortened, by the way. There was a couple games off there because of COVID. Decided to say what's up. 45 games played, 12 goals, 28 assists for 40 points. Great season. That's an even better season than last year. And I mean, in a shortened season, to get 40 points in that amount of time, you got to be pretty impressed with that. And he moved over to college because I think the Chicago Steel were not playing in 2020-21. So at the University of Michigan, he played 26 games, had 3 goals, 13 assists for 16 points. And here's a notable thing. 41 block shots. 41. Unbelievable. And some people were comparing him to, he's the next Victor Hedman. And I was like, okay, maybe we should wait a little bit before we say that, because we said the same thing about Rasmus Dahlin, which, by the way, imagine Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin on the same pairing. Imagine. That pairing will be insane. Literally insane. It'll be pretty crazy to look at that, and, it's going to be unreal for Buffalo. I mean, like, I know Dahlin's kind of fallen off. He still has that potential. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on with Jack Eichel, and there's a lot of stuff going on with, Reinhart, Hall leaving the team, Jeff Skinner, the management. Look, there's a lot of things going on, but I think that, I think if you draft this guy onto your team, It's going to be pretty good. And my thoughts were when I saw the highlights from him, I thought he was pretty awesome defensively, but he can also pass and score goals consistently, which is everything you need out of a defenseman. So I think that, he's good with the teamwork, he's good with the passing, he makes great feeds. And he's always up on that point on that first power play, getting those shots up on net for the tips and making the good passes and assists. This guy could really be something in a couple of years. And I can't stop talking about him and Rasmus Dahlin. That will be insane if that happens. If Dahlin can find a scoring touch and, Power can play like Owen Power, that's going to be a great line. But people need to also realize, and I wanted to make a video about this, but the playoffs started before I could. If this guy comes in here and doesn't score like over 40 points, people are going to complain and be like, oh, he's a bust. Send him down to the minors. He's terrible. No. Okay. I think that what I think he is. I think he's good, and I think I said the same thing about Lafreniere, and I said the same thing about Jack Hughes. All these people expect that. The media is going to criticize these players for not bringing up the amount of points they had in juniors. There's a big difference between World Juniors or juniors in general and like college and all that and the NHL. There is a massive difference. They aren't the same league. Like they're not even remotely close in not conversation in skill level and hardworkingness. They are nowhere near close together. So people need to realize that if this guy scores less than 20 points, first off, he's a defenseman, and second, he is not a bust. I think in my draft category, it takes 3 years for a player to become a bust, and even then, I don't even really call them a bust necessarily after that, because they could need fresh starts. They could be a late bloomer. They could be an early bloomer. So you call these people who are doing so well at the start, like top-notch players, and then by the end we're like, oh, well, I guess they're busts now. So, that's a whole video I want to get into. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on Owen Power in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Tomorrow we'll probably do a 2021 review. It'll be the first one, or maybe Wednesday, and I'll find out something to do tomorrow. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching and for all your support. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, new series, and we'll get into probably Beniers next episode. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.